Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders with Marketing Huddle. Today we have with us Don Bondeson, who is the founder of Taxes in 24. Welcome to the program, Don.
Thank you for having me. Looking forward to it.
So give us a little bit of background on yourself and what led you to start a service called Taxes in 24.
Well, my wife and I have been in the accounting and the corporate financial market and companies for over 25 years, and we started a CPA firm about 8 years ago, and then which led us to this next product and next venture that we have, which is Taxes in 24. And it's been a great ride, and we've been growing every year, and it's been just a blast to do. So we found a real need out there, and that's what we wanted to bring a product to the market.
So I can only assume that Taxes in 24 means 24 hours, and so that's now playing on the need that I'm sure you've researched and found that people need to have a quicker turn time. So what did you notice out there in your research and in your dealings with clients where you started noticing that there's a need for getting taxes quickly?
Yeah, there were two needs. One was that, people didn't have a lot of time to take off and, go to multiple meetings at a CPA office or a tax preparer's office and drop off their stuff and come back and bring it in. And then people wanted to have their results really quickly. We're in a kind of an instant gratification society we're in right now. And we came up with a service to where actually you can do your taxes from your house, never having to leave. We have secure portals to be able to upload your documents to, and either a phone or video conference in order to go over those documents. And then after we have all the information, we're able to give you back your tax return, in most cases, within 24 hours. And it kind of sets the need for busy lifestyles, along with being able to get the results very quickly.
So when I'm hearing two things. Number one, quickness, but also convenience. Because if you've got, secure portals and, you're envisioning the cliche receipts in a shoebox, that would eliminate things like that. So how detailed could you get when you might have someone that has, a business, or is this something where, there's a cutoff for where it's only the easy form, for 24 hours, or how detailed can you get and still provide that turn time?
No, we can get very detailed. We do everything from S corps to partnerships to sole proprietorships to individual tax returns. So we cover the whole gamut of different types of tax returns. And as long as we have the proper information, we're able to turn around rather quickly with the staff that we have. So it really does, as long as we have, let's say from a business perspective, we have, a clean balance sheet and a clean profit and loss along with your previous year's tax return, we still can turn that around in as little as 24 hours with the staff that we have.
Well, see, I think that is so neat because sometimes people get so flustered with, I don't want to take the time to come in and do something and sit down with and wait in a waiting room. And when I hear, a video conference or a phone call and upload documents, that's the epitome of, convenience. So am I correct in thinking that would there be any sort of help or advice while they're setting up the documents? Because there tends to be some people that would go, ooh, well, should I include this or should I provide that to you? So what does that look like so that people can feel confident that they're submitting the right documents and receipts to you on the front end?
Yeah, we have tools, checklists on our website that allow people to go through and kind of see the different documents that we may need. And it allows them to just kind of go down the list and say, okay, yeah, I do need this 1099 or I need this, W-2 and different items like that they may need. So yeah, there's a checklist on there, very easy for them to go through. And at the same time, when we have our phone conversation, we go through them with them and help them to understand maybe they're missing something that they need to, go get and upload and get to us so that we can start the clock on the 24 hours.
So what is the main hurdles or roadblocks that you are finding clients experience that this is going to solve for them? Of course, the speed, the taxes in 24, but what are some of the things that people could watch out for to make sure that it's a smooth experience?
Well, preparation, which they would do, whether they were doing it, at home with a software of their own, or they were getting ready to go to one of these big box places, being prepared and understanding that you're going to need the same documents either way, and so having everything put together and able to be brought up to the portal through our app that you can do on a phone or on your computer or whatever you want to do. And so just making sure that just having the same mindset that if you're going to need it to do it yourself, or you're going to need it in order to go to the big box boys, that you can make it, and that's what you're going to have it successful. And then our point and our purpose is that we have so much experience in this that we can help people. We see the things that people forget. Did you forget about your student loan interest, or did you forget about this business deduction, your automobile mileage expense, and different things like that, rather than if you were sitting at home with no help at all, trying to punch it into a piece of software and spending.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you're bridging the gap between someone that doesn't want to go to the big name, sit down and pay big dollar, or someone that doesn't really want to go, wow, I download a piece of software and I hope I did it right. So you're bridging that gap where it's speed and convenience and there's that human element. And I think that that's a really interesting topic, because if you look at a price point of the software compared to the big box in person, you're going to fall in between there, but you're going to still be giving that personal touch, right?
Correct, and that is exactly what this product and this company is for, is being able to bridge between the big box and the software. The exorbitant prices that the big box people charge for a tax return, and they do it, sitting there and do it in front of you, and there's a part of it that's that's convenient, and you get it done immediately, but it doesn't give much thought into what's really going on and what's going into that tax return. Where when you're having to think of it all on your own, you can miss a lot of deductions, and we find that time in and time out, that we found. When we look at a lot of these, software that people have done their tax returns on, we've saw an error rate of close to 60% of the ones that come in our door, just looking at them from the year before that they prepared themselves. And
now, is that an opportunity, like maybe even an add-on decision that could be added on to where, hey, we'll do your taxes in 24, but then do you also offer something to a client where maybe you could look backwards at their year or two before just to see if there's any opportunities that way?
Absolutely. And as part of the due diligence in preparing for the tax return, we obviously always look at the tax return and we point out errors if we see them, at that time. But if somebody would like to have an in-depth analysis of, their tax returns over the last couple of years, that is a service we've been actually offering for years and can absolutely do.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of sets your mind at ease to know that you're not out there alone with the softwares. You're not paying unnecessary high prices with the big box, but yet you still have that convenience factor and the personal touch. And hey, while you're at it, take a look at my last 3 years and let's see if the software missed something or if the big box guys missed something. And I think that would kind of be a nice, kind of wrap it up in a nice package with a pretty bow kind of a service. I really like that idea.
Yeah, and I tell people all the time that, when we go to a professional, especially when you go to a professional that's available year-round, we're not in for 4 months and then gone and coming back and you're dealing with somebody else like a lot of the different places have. You're paying for not just having your taxes prepared, but for that person to be there year-round if you have questions or you need something looked at or something doesn't feel right, being able to take and understand that and be able to pick up the phone or send an email and get a response, 52 weeks, that's an important aspect of it for our clients.
Yeah, I think that really is a good point, because one of the negatives of some places is, this person does taxes for one season and then they're off, running a ski lift for, the rest of the year. And you're trying to think, well, how up to speed really are you? So you having a full staff with, completely trained and staying updated and continuing education, things like that, I think brings a big piece to the puzzle that might be missing otherwise.
That's correct. Yeah, it's being understanding that there are the laws are changing in this next year. They're going to change even faster and a lot more, it looks like. So having somebody that has to legally stay up to speed on the tax laws, but also does stay up on the tax laws, and having a familiar organization to be able to help you with it is very important to all of our clients.
So now let's think about human nature. Human nature is, if the time it will take to get a job done expands or contracts given the time allowed or the time available. So what I'm worried about or wondering about is someone's going to go, cool, taxes in 24. I'm going to wait until the 2 days before the deadline and get them one in. So what is some of the safety precautions or the protocols that you recommend or will need to make sure that you're not having someone feeling the pressure of coming right up to a deadline? Even though you can do it as little as 24 hours, you still want to have a little bit of a cushion there, right?
Yeah, you never want to rush through any, tax return. You want to make sure that you have enough time and effort. And of course, there's always that end of the year crunch that, any accounting or tax firm has. And so we, that's why there's the asterisk on the 24 hours, right? Because, in many, many cases where there's no reason why we can't get it done in 24 hours. However, as we get deeper into the season, depending on, availability and everything, that may change. So we always encourage everybody to always file as quickly and early as possible. And don't wait till the last minute in order to do that, because it's not good for you or anybody else's stress in order to make that happen. And so we highly encourage people to do that. We still make every effort in order to get it done within that 24-hour period, even when we're on April 14th or whatever. But definitely want people to be, giving us their tax returns much earlier than that.
And being prepared with the documentation, because I'm sure that someone could say, well, you didn't get them done in 24 hours, but all you did was upload one W-2 and a coffee stain pay stub. So we need to make sure that every document that's needed is there so that you can do the job that you need, and that just is helpful with having that clarity and crispness in your records anyway. That's to me, that would be something that you would be having that nice template or checklist to work with ahead of time that you're providing the client. So I really think that that's great, and I really love the concept of the service where you've got the people that don't really trust the softwares because they're just worried or wondered, did I miss something, and then paying the big guys for doing something, and there's that in between, and I think that there's that sweet spot in the market. Have you seen any research or statistics of kind of that sweet spot there in the middle that really caused you to start the service?
Well, it's basically been from the hundreds and hundreds of clients that we have out there that have given us the feedback that have used those types of services or done it on their own. And quite frankly, it's not just not wanting or not knowing how to do it. It's just that they don't want to do it. They don't want to sit down on a whole weekend trying to prepare their tax return when you can have a professional that knows what they're doing do it. Because it doesn't matter if we are a person that works out of their house or taking care of the family. Time is money, and no matter what it is, and money not just from a dollar sense, but also money from being away from your family and not having time to do that. And so the service cost is so economical compared to having to do it yourself, let alone the dollars and cents saved from the big box stores.
Yeah, I mean, I love that with, like in business, it's called the opportunity cost. If you're doing something here, then you can't be doing something there. And what is that? Is it family time? Is it personal time? Is it your business that you now can't run because you're running around trying to, get your taxes done? So I really love the concept of service. And for those that are interested in learning more or connecting with you, what's the best way that they can reach out?
Yeah, the best way to get a hold of us is to go to our website, taxesin24.com, and we have lots of contact information as well as resources that are on there. And, it's a great way to get a hold of us.
Excellent. Well, Don, thank you so much for your time today. It was great to get to know you as well as your new service.
Well, thanks, Mike. We appreciate the opportunity.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneursradio.com.